Welcome back to Get Your Man On. This is Evan Bass. You can find me on Instagram at theebass, TheEbass. Shoot me a DM. Don't be creepy though, please. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. Don't you send me a creepy DM again. I swear I will come for you. I'm just kidding. Just don't do it. Block you this time. We're back with Josh. We're going to talk about, he's going to talk some about how to not look like an idiot when you're walking in the gym for the first time or if it's been a long time. Also, gonna hear a story. Let's hear, like, do you have a horrible relationship gym breakup story that?
Well, it kind of ties into the last segment about trying to date girls in the gym. I think I learned my lesson really early in life. I was probably 22. I had a friend that I grew up with. He was an incredible athlete and actually got drafted by the Mets to play baseball when he was like 12 or 13 years old.
Oh, my.
And so he was just that level of athlete. So he graduated, actually went up, played in college, and then went to the farm team for the Mets and started in the league, the farm league, right below the big leagues, and went up and got called up to the big leagues and then injured himself, tore his hamstring trying to water ski behind a pontoon boat, of all things, and it literally detached his entire hamstring, raveled up his leg, and he was out of commission. And he just lost some speed in a step and never got back into baseball. So he came back into town and saw me, who and I had been working out for a couple of years at that point. And I had looked completely different. And he was astonished how much progress I had made. More progress than he had made as far as aesthetics. He was very strong. He just had never put much focus in aesthetics. So we started training together, and it was a great relationship. He taught me all this strength and power. I taught him all these bodybuilding techniques. We were having so much fun. He was getting in great shape. I was putting another level on mine. And then there was a girl that was really attractive that he started talking to, and they ended up going out, having a little foray. He came back and shared it with me. And about 2 days later, her husband came into the gym and was looking for him. And it got really ugly. And the husband made a lot of threats. And so he ended up having to cancel his membership and go to a different gym. And it ruined our relationship of training.
Oh,
and,
no.
So he really was kicking himself for doing something so silly. He did not know she was married, or he said that he did not know she was married. But it absolutely put the damper on the relationship. So just from a standpoint of, if you date a girl in the gym, be really careful, because if you break up with her, it can be a problem.
Yeah.
So not only have I not approached women in the gym, but I've tried, if I date a girl and she does work out, I don't invite her to my gym. I encourage her to keep her gym membership. And keep things a little separate, just in case there's some fallout.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's just a little touch of wisdom from some real world experience. So
I kind of like drama. A little drama is like, I'm a reality show guy, so I need a little drama in my life. If stuff doesn't go right, it's fine. We'll deal with it. Try to make each other jealous across from the gym, whatever.
Well. Or you can just make her hate working out, so she just quits going to the gym. You could do that too. There's ways. There's probably ways to mitigate the damages.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. So, Josh, one of the things that happens when I talk to people about going to the gym is, and they're asking me, Evan, what happened? How did you get so shredded? And I'm like, hey, I've been working out for 12 years. My diet was a big part of it, and being able to make that change with Josh really made some huge differences. But they say, I just don't know what I'm doing. And so a lot of people, like, if they can't afford a personal trainer, there's some great online resources, of course, and you're working on some building some of that stuff, because I feel like what you have needs to get out there. But what would you say, how do you tell someone to go into the gym? What's the first thing you should go and do or study about doing to put yourself in a situation where you don't have to feel like you're super embarrassed or like everyone's looking at you? Because everyone kind of feels like everyone's staring at you. And I don't know why that is, but maybe it's the mirrors.
It is the mirrors, and I think people being a little self-conscious. But what I tell everybody is, I promise you that even if you think people are looking at you, they are so busy looking at themselves in the mirror, they really could care less what anybody else looks like. There is a lot of that's going on. People are so into their own programming and their own physique that they are not really paying that much attention to everyone else in the gym. I think, some of the things to be more comfortable, it's just basics. I see these guys come in and they probably were in shape 15 or 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and they still think they're in shape. So they come in these ridiculous outfits and these stringer tank tops, and I mean, there's not an ounce of muscle left. They obviously think they have some muscle on their body, but there's nothing there. So, if you haven't been in the gym in a while, one thing you can do is just try to dress appropriately.
Right.
So you'll feel more comfortable, and that's going to cut down the feeling that people are looking at you. So, wear a t-shirt instead of a tank top. Don't wear really short shorts. So, just wear something appropriate so you don't stand out too much. And then I think when you're starting out, it doesn't have to be 110 miles an hour to start. And I think the biggest mistake people make is they just overreach when they start.
Right.
So I like to encourage people, even if it was something, typically with somebody it does not have gym access, I encourage them to just get in a habit of trying to do a 30-minute walk 5 days a week. So if they have the ability to get in a gym, they could go into the gym and just start with trying to establish a little cardiovascular routine for maybe 2 to 4 weeks and just get in the habit of walking in the door, seeing some of the faces, probably going to make a friend or two. People are very consistent with their cardio habits. So you'll end up meeting a couple friends that are on the machines next to you. And then things start to become more social. And if you don't want to hire a trainer, which would be obviously the best bet to at least get some knowledge in the beginning, typically you can find somebody that will mentor you and take you under their wing if you can just get in there for a couple weeks and just establish yourself. So my thing is just to try to get in the habit of getting in the door, talk to some people, try to ask some questions. Somebody very likely will want to help you out and say, hey, you know what, why don't you come work out with me? I'm going to lift some weights. Why don't you come over and try lifting some weights with me? So, they may not be doing everything correctly, but at least it's getting you off the cardio and into the weights and moving a little bit. The online resources, the ability to find good stuff online is there. It's just you have to make sure you're getting it from reputable sources.
Yeah.
So the online coaching and training can be very powerful if it is set up correctly and the coach is able to get a visual if need be.
Right.
And if there are some good instructional videos that really hone in on some of the form and the key points to the exercises.
Need some personal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. I'll never forget. Like, I thought you go into the gym and you see all these guys who are jacked and you think they're mean. You think they're assholes. And it's crazy how kind 99% of people are, except for that one guy.
Yeah, there's always one guy. I mean, it's anywhere.
But like most people, they really don't. They're like super positive, really just like happy that everyone else is there. Like no matter what stage you're in. Like I get really excited when I see people who aren't in the best shape at the gym. Because it's like, come on, let's go. Like that's. And I think most people actually feel like that. Like we're kind of it's a bit of a tribe that we're building of like, hey, we just want to feel better, we want to get better, we want to maybe even look better. I wrestle with like, hey, I don't want to become a narcissist, which I think it's so easy to do. You start like staring at yourself in the mirror and like, what about this little piece of this and this and this and this to change that? I really hate that like tendency. And how do you deal with that? Like getting too like dialed in, like, because you don't want to be a psycho about that stuff. And some of us are just trying to lose a few pounds. Like we're not even trying to get,
right.
We're not trying to be like, again, in our clinics, we're not looking to make bodybuilders for show competition. Like that is not what we are able to treat or think that's healthy to do. But like we want people feeling better, looking better, and just feeling better about themselves. Like how do you manage that?
It's really just trying to go back to basics. And this shoulder surgery that we talked about in the earlier segment has really, it has the history that I have with the shoulder, extreme sports, lots of dislocations and horrible injuries on the river and on the ski slopes, is what has necessitated the need for the shoulder replacement. Because of those posture deviations that have been going on for so many years, even myself, one of the other things that has really helped my recovery is I have taken a couple steps back and just focused on general posturing and trying to go back and regain the posture that we tend to have as kids before we get injured and before we start to get in bad habits. And so even just addressing some of the basic posturing has made a huge difference in function and movement and the feel of the muscles and the synergy of the body. And if you can go in and focus on things like posture and cater to good movement patterns and not be so focused on the weight lifted, that's going to set you up for success, and you're going to get lots of gains and a lot of function without the potential risk of injury. So it's just staying within your means, for sure.
Beautiful. I love that, Josh. Thank you so much for being here once again. You got to come back. I love these chats. It feels like it's incredible stuff.
Yeah,
really, really great. Love to hear you talk about how to stay healthy when you're on a budget next time.
Yeah.
Would love to do that. Josh Stiglets, everybody. Coming up, Random Rants with Evan and producer Danny, where we talk about whatever just comes into our head. It's gonna be crazy. I don't know. You may want to put the kids in the back of the car, not like be safe, of course. GetYourManOn.com.